So today I received a press release from Operation Rescue, the longtime pro-life advocacy organization. And it's a press release announcing that they're going to be hosting a press conference at the Iowa legislature coming up this week with the folks over at Iowa Right to Life, urging the passage of House File 5, which is the so-called late-term abortion ban, which is a follow-up to a late-term abortion ban we already passed several years ago that banned abortions in Iowa after 24 weeks. And since the abortionists couldn't be counted on to tell the truth, we've now got to ban them at 20 weeks because it appears that people who profit off the killing of babies might not just be people of integrity and high character. So they're coming here to have this press conference, and one sentence in their press release really stood out to me. The spokesperson for Operation Rescue said that she wanted to urge Iowans to protect women and, quote, their viable babies, unquote. Their viable babies, the babies who can feel pain after 20 weeks. Here's my question. Can anybody tell me what a non-viable baby is? You know, if you're wondering, where have I heard terminology like viable baby? Where have I heard that before? Or terms like fetus. Even in its own literature, Operation Rescue is now saying the fetus feels pain. Not the child. Not the life, not the baby, but the fetus feels pain. Now, where have I heard language like fetus and viable? Where have I heard those words before? That's right. From the baby killers, the abortionists. That's their language. Those are terms right out of their glossary. They don't like the term baby or child. Why? Because that denotes value, life. So they call it a fetus. So it sounds like just some glob of scientific result that can be done away with like any other scientific apparatus. It has no endemic value. It's just sort of there. And, you know, if you created it, you can also take it away. It sounds clinical, not endearing. And viable. Well, you know, one man's viable is another man's pest. It's another man's object. It's another man's obstacle to getting what they want. You know, I don't have time to be a dad or a mom. I don't have time to be a parent. Well, this child will be born with some kind of deformity, some kind of medical condition that will, you know, mean that it won't live a full, healthy life, or will take away from my ability to live mine. And so this child isn't viable and doesn't deserve to live. These are all arguments that are made by the other team. If you want to know, you know, it's ironic. My mom got pregnant with me at the age of 14, just as the Supreme Court was making its Roe versus Wade ruling. And if you want to know why 38 years later, we are no closer to ending abortion, the scourge, the plague that it is on this civilization, nothing other than our own modern example of child sacrifice. If you want to know why we're no closer to ending it now than we were 38 years ago, and if you want to know why, despite the fact that polls are showing the majority of Americans consider themselves pro-life for the first time since the issue became an issue, yet we can't actually get our own pro-life organizations like Iowa Right to Life to actually take a stand for personhood, the idea that a life is sacred at the moment of its own biological beginning. If you want to know why we've made no progress on this for the last 38 years, it's press releases like this one from Operation Rescue that clearly tell us why. This is why. Because despite all the money that's been made, and all the money that's been raised, and all the jobs that have been created in the pro-life industry, and all the people that walked away with their pro-life merit badge and felt really self-righteous that they did something today, and all the politicians that have used the pro-life cause as the camouflage, as a human shield between them and their more liberal and more pro-abortion opponent. Despite all the money raised, all the jobs created, all the elections won, we're no closer to stopping this than we were 38 years ago. And that's because 38 years later, after trying to regulate incrementally infanticide out of business, the best we can do 38 years later is to borrow the terminology of the other side. We're not here to protect babies at Operation Rescue. We're here to protect the viable ones. The non-viable ones, whoever you are, sucks to be you, using the language, the wicked, wicked language of the malevolent evil that is the abortion industry in this country. And now we've got pro-lifers ironically coming to Iowa trying to urge the passage of pro-life legislation that has the exact language that those who profit off the killing of babies have been using themselves for decades. That's how you lose, even when you win. Thanks for joining us today at stevedeace.com. You can email me, steve@stevedeace.com, and please tell me, what exactly is a non-viable baby from a pro-life perspective? I'd love to know what that is. You can also follow me on Facebook at Stephen Deace. Steve_Deace is how you'll find us on Twitter. God bless.